It's your boy Bleed. Everybody listen up. Let's get it. I'm trying to put money in your pocket. That crypto wallet. That bing bada bing ching ching big profit. Even when the market's sideways, I'm looking for ways to get paid. I'm checking my coins around breakfast, then again around bedtime. Bet this, it's not financial advice, but I'm always. It's been a long day, I mean a long week, maybe a long year, so let's get something clear. We're gonna stock up on some party favors later on. Tell everybody they're invited, you should come along. Best to bring your good foot, ladies gonna be dancing on the ceiling. Cocky and appealing, possibly revealing. Getting sideways like a bridesmaid, that she vibrate. If you a lightweight, hope you hydrate. We gon' tip the bottles back, busting out the fat sacks. People wearing costumes, chewing on a mushroom. Something like a wonderland, understand? Going down the rabbit hole with my kinfolk to another land. Damn, I said we do it like this. Magic carpet riders on some third eye shit. Mr. Pine Cones come a long, long way, so everybody get sideways. Sing it. I can't wait till Friday. Everybody's getting sideways. Pass the bottle back my way. Everybody's getting sideways.
What is going on, true believers? Guys, I hope everybody's having a good evening. My name is Bleaves. This is Bedtime with Bleaves. I wanted to get us started a little bit earlier. We're only going to be on for about a half hour tonight, maybe 35 minutes or so. So I wanted to come on early and see what is going on. Hope everybody's having a good evening. It's Friday night on the streets of LA. Maybe it's not. It's Friday. Yeah, it's Friday night on the streets of LA, right? I don't even know if anybody, if I said that song, if I started singing that song, I don't think anybody would even know what that is. Dog, read the room. My poor dog. What's up, Wizard Cell? What's up, Pocahontas? I don't, so anyway, I don't think that if I started singing that song, I don't think anybody would even know. The answer, by the way, would be King T, and the song would be Act a Fool. It's Friday night on the streets of LA. Going out, been hanging around the house all day, so I'll take me a shower, dressed like a pimp daddy. God, I can't remember it. It's been so long. Been a long time since I heard that song. So now I'm just reciting it from memory. There's another song that I did from memory. By the way, since we got about 3 minutes before it's 8 o'clock, there's another song that I used to. So I've never heard the song before until probably about 5 years ago, and it was called "Swingin'" from a country singer by the name of John Anderson. Never heard the song in my life. Had no idea. But I knew the lyrics from beginning to end because a buddy of mine used to sing the song all the time and taught me the lyrics when I was 13, 14 years old. That's how old that song is. So what's up, Uproar? How's it going, man? So anyway, a couple more minutes, get people in here. I know a lot of people are a little bit upset about the market dipping because the market has been dipping. But there is nothing about this dip that to me says we're in trouble, that we're in any sort of worry or bad situation. This is just the end result of what I'm just going to call it exhaustion. I think the market, all markets, not just crypto, by the way, all markets are just kind of exhausted from pumping. And I think they needed a healthy little correction so that everybody could kind of take a deep breath, just chill for a second and wait for that next opportunity for things to start moving. And even though it won't maintain, by the way, I'm not saying we're going to go like a rocket. It looks like the market, after cooling off, is starting to warm back up just a little bit. We're an hour into the rollover on the data. And in that hour, basically everything is up 1%. And by the way, Hulk Inu right now is up 14% in an hour. So something's going on over there. I don't know what it is, but they seem to be having themselves quite a little run right now. So I guess they're what you call smashing it. Last 24 hours has them up 12.79% from, I guess, maybe over here 24 hours ago. But in this last little wick right here, it's gone from 9,000, from 8,000 up to, from 89 to like 97. So they've had a 12%, 13% pump. So yeah, there we go. What's up, Tom? How's it going? Do you see it eating a 0 or possibly 2? I don't think there's any circumstance in which we're going to eat 2 zeros immediately. Don't worry about it, Greg. I went on a little bit early just to talk and shoot the shit for a little bit before we got started, just because I was bored. And we're only going to make it a half hour tonight. We're not going to make it a full hour. So I figured I would come on and just kind of talk for a few minutes until we got started. But to answer this question, I don't think we eat 2 zeros. I don't think the market bears that out yet. However, if let's say we got Gate.io listing, and then right after that we got another nice tier 1 listing about 3 days afterwards, and then VoltaChange launched, and everybody who's aboard VoltaChange was just super excited, and we started to see just a massive amount of trading volume start to happen, then the answer to that would still be no. I still don't think, I think we probably have maybe a 6 or a 7x to get a little bit over the all-time high, but you have to take into account, like, as brilliant so far as Voltoshi has been, and he really has been, this is just not the market for it. This is the market where, you get 6 or 7x, take your profit and accumulate some more as it goes back down, because nothing can sustain itself right now for an extended period of time. That complicates crypto just a little bit, but I mean, that's the way that it is right now. Yes, we are 27th, I think it is. But I mean, listen, I'm not worried about that. I'm not worried about Mount Gox. I'm not worried about any of those. It's not gonna be a big deal. What's going on, Mark? Jackson Hole is just a circle jerk for economists and people who think that they know everything about the world to come together and start talking about economic policy and how we can better serve our communities and stuff like that. Does anything get accomplished there? Yes, because it's open dialogue, it's communication, but it's not like it's just there's no reason. The fact that I think we had either a pump or a dip last year or the year before, because it was happening at the same time. It had nothing to do with it. It had nothing to do with the actual symposium. It was based on something else entirely. And I do remember it playing out. Like, I remember we were talking about it, and there was something big that was happening in the market, and it just had nothing to do with it. But I did see, by the way, a gentleman today that we had a pump. There we go. But yeah, I don't think it has anything to do with that economic forum. Like, we see the big ticket item a lot of times, and we consider this a big ticket item, but that's not what pumps the market. A bunch of nerds talking about nerd shit. That's not pumping crypto. What's pumping crypto is something else. Like, we're getting an interest rate reduction. We're getting China says that their inflation is less than they expected. Those are the kind of things, and we don't see them in the forefront. We don't see them like right away, but those are the things that pump the market. Not that these guys having a meeting. I think we're gonna be. I don't think that's gonna matter too much at all. But you know what? It's good to have something like that happen, because at least it keeps people thinking finance in the public lexicon, et cetera, et cetera. But listen, there's no reason for us to have this dip. Yeah, we're having a little bit of fun. So we're gonna look at some chart action. I'm gonna tell you guys why, like, it's not that bad. We had a dip. If you bought, somebody said, if you bought the top, shame on you. But I mean, hey, look, we all buy the top every once in a while, and all you gotta do is have a little patience. When you look at it over here, what is it over here? No, I guess it's a couple days ago. If you bought over here, you're gonna be fine. So here we are right now, and look, chart does not look great, but it is rounding. And remember, we did this. We were talking about this last night, and I said it was rounding, and it was rounding right here, and it went sideways, and then just continued to dump, right? But now we're rounding again, and you can see here when it rounded, it started to go back up. So we are rounding right now, and we're preparing to go back up. ETH is at 1629. ETH was down as far as 1600 a little while ago. 1600, by the way, is just that mental point of support. Just like 1656 is just the actual line where the support was. This 1600 is just that mental because it's a 0-0 number. So we bounced off of that, and now we are making our way back up. We're up 1.1% in the last hour. Bitcoin's up a point. Total market cap is up a million. Up 1 point, which is, look at what happened. Now, if we zoom in, then you see it's right here, 1 a.m. Central Standard Time. 1 a.m. Central Standard Time is when it all got crazy. And you can see right here that it was led by Bitcoin right here. Look at the amount of volatility. This right here, from here to here, represented an immense volume of what do we go from 22,813 down to 21,400. So yeah, we lost what, 6% in an hour? Are you shitting me? Like, that's out of control. So we lost 6% in an hour. That's a crazy amount for any period of time. And that, of course, caused people to say, oh my God, something's happening. There's something bad going on in the world. And what are we going to do now? So that leads you to start to sell. And then everybody started to sell off. We're having this catastrophic move. And then we come over here and we think, oh my God, everything must just be going out of its mind, right? Because we're seeing this happen. We're seeing this happen right here. We're like, okay, so crypto is headed down. The rest of the markets must be headed down. Nope. The Korean ended up down 15 points and for 0.6. So it basically traded sideways. Chinese market basically traded sideways, down just a little bit. We shouldn't say that it didn't have at least a dip. It did have a dip, but I mean, come on, it wasn't a big dip. UK 100 traded pretty much sideways the entire day, down 14 points or 0.19%. And then the Stoxx 600 in Germany traded down 3 points or 0.77, less than a percent. So it probably opened right here. Yeah, probably opened right here and then closed right here. So it even pumped in the overnight before it dumped. So it's crazy shit. Like that's just insane, right? So then you have to ask yourself, like, well, what happened? And you start looking around to try to find out what happened. And then it turns out that right here, the answer was right in front of you the whole time. Manipulation. So what, if you were paying attention to Twitter, then you would have gotten notified of, and we keep this up here, so I keep getting updates on it. This is the liquidations rush, and this tells you what's being liquidated, right? So we're going to go back just about 24 hours and look at what got liquidated, because it was FTX that it all came from. But there we go. Here we go. 12 hours would have been 8 o'clock this morning. So we're looking at about 19 hours from now, maybe 17 hours to 19. right. So, there were 17 hours. Yes, I think we're probably looking at 19. Just give it a second here, and we'll get to this 19 period. And remember, we're not having massive amounts of liquidations to this point. Okay, so, and we're at 18 hours. 18 hours. 18 hours. And you're seeing right here at 18 hours, you're seeing a massive amount. And we're gonna go down the list here and see, because shit got crazy, and I mean crazy for a little while. But look how much got liquidated, and this was happening at exactly 1 o'clock. Okay, so here's 2,300 hours, barely anything happening. Then we have at 2,200 hours, barely anything happening, and then here it starts. Okay, this is what happens at this point. We get 169,000 Bitcoin long, 53 ETH long, no big deal. Then we get 678 combined was done. Huobi, FTX, nothing out of the ordinary. 115 Litecoin. Then here we have 275,000 liquidated, 141 off FTX, and then here it goes. Combined altcoin liquidations in the last minute: 609,000 in Ethereum, 212,000 in Solana. Then we have 171,000 the next minute from FTX. Then we have 83. Then we have 346,000 coming out of FTX. Then we have 227 out of FTX. Then we have 1 million on ETH in just a moment here. Then you move on and you keep seeing a lot of liquidation. Then here we go, 253K. Boom, gone. Here we go, 1.3 million. Boom, gone. And that was a Bitcoin liquidation. This is an Ethereum liquidation. Then you have just your random liquidations that we're looking at along the way. When you see 3.2 million liquidated from Bitcoin long position, 600, and this is all happening like just one after the other. 661 Bitcoin, 252,000 Ethereum, 988 combined Bitcoin liquidation right here. Then you have this massive amount, which adds up to over 1 million a minute later. Then it just keeps going and going and going and going and going. And you just continue to see these random liquidations, right? And it's nonstop the whole time. And then here it goes. This is when the shit hits the fan. 18 hours, you get a $23 million liquidation, a $4.7 million liquidation. These are all Bitcoin. Then you get right after that, and I mean right after, ETH. Remember, we're doing this by the minute. You see 2.9 million long liquidated, 1.8 liquidated, 495 liquidated. And these are just small caps, right? 134 Bitcoin liquidation. Everything is just going right now. And we're still at 18 hours. We're still at 18 hours ago. So this is minute by minute, just massive amounts. 314,000 short liquidated, 516,000 in longs liquidated. Then we have 2.4 short liquidation, 254,000 FTX liquidation. Then we have on and on and on. We're still at 18 hours, and literally there's something happening every second. FTX 2.4 million liquidation. So like you can see right here, ETH 129 sold. ETH Classic 2 million short liquidated. FTX 389,000, and it continues. We're still at 18 hours, guys. Remember, we're still at 18 hours. It's continuing to go on. ETH Classic 1.3 million liquidated from FTX, and we're still at 18 hours. 786 ETH Classic liquidation, 144 Bitcoin liquidation, 218,000, 206,000, 120. Now we're starting to get to the next couple of hours. And what we're not seeing is, you don't see huge amounts here, by the way. You're not going to be seeing huge, but you're going to be seeing big amounts, and you're going to be seeing them coming often. So what we had was just the entire market decided the people who would liquidate. Dude, you know that's going to matter, Jason, a whole lot pretty soon. When you say, hello, friends, that's going to matter a shitload to people after they see that movie. So anyway, it's continued and continued. And this is going on all night long. And then here is what we were left with. This here led to this here, which of course, now everything has been liquidated. Now you've got your shorts and your longs liquidated. And where does that leave us from here? Well, it leaves us way down. So then what happens? People don't know what's going on, but they know that that happened. So now they're nervous. So what happens when we get to the American market? The American market, we lost 292 points today on the Dow. So for the week, we minted, here we go. Our weekly candle is still not minted yet. It'll be minted, but it's going to end up being a green one. Or, I mean, it's going to be a red one. Because we started the week at 33.8. We're going to end at 33.7. So we're going to be down 100 points when it mints. And there was no reason for it. People started saying, oh, my God, Boeing missed its shot and stuff like that. Like, Boeing, get the fuck out of here. Come on. We're not doing – look, stop doing that. You know, stop doing it. Stop pretending. The market got tired is what happened. Everybody got tired. And took a little nap. That's it. So now it's time to wake up from that nap, and we're going to make that move back towards that upside again. Here we are. We're still down here. This is the long-term weekly chart for Bitcoin. But as we look at this right here, what we're going to see is we're going to see a move back up here to get back into this channel. So expect that we're going to gain 1,000 points probably pretty rapidly. Like, listen. This is not a correction to a downside. This is not a downside play. This is a manipulation play. Remember that. This is that liquidation and all of this happening at one time to try to scare the market. Okay. Now people know, oh shit, I don't have to worry about that anymore. That's why you're seeing the money coming back into the market. People are starting to feel more comfortable. So that's where we are. That's what's going on. And I think that we're just going to end up being fine. We're down on everything. Ethereum down. We broke out. We broke out of support channels. We broke out of these lines. But I think if you find anyone, you're going to find people who are what the French call out of their fucking minds, idiots, nimrods, ding dongs, dingbats, bit boys. You know what I'm talking about? People who just don't know shit, right? You're going to find plenty of those people that are going to say, oh, the whole market's going to collapse around you and everything's going to go down and everything's going to suck. But it's really not going to because look around you. There's no reason for what happened to happen other than greed and profit taking. And that's fine. That's just the market being the market. So now we're up 2% on Solana, 2.4% on BNB, 2.4% on Link. Luna Classic, we're already up 2.2% on since just an hour ago, basically. Matic, we're up 2.42%. So you're already seeing this market, and it's going to be look. This is a big downward movement. When we go look at this number, this is a 7% correction. So we got a long way to go. Ethereum lost 10% of its value in the last 24 hours. So it's going to have to gain 10%. And we don't have that kind of bull rush. That's not how we do right now. What we've got right now is some positive momentum to start moving up. So, and it's weekend. So you're going to see some weak sort of movement. Now, if you remember, last Saturday, what was the date on last Saturday? The 13th and the 6th. Let's go look at the 13th and the 6th. So I think on the 13th, we got a nice pump in the 14th. Yeah. So the 13th and the 14th over here, I want to say that we had like a really good early morning. There was nothing going on. Then this is the night, right? This is what happened that Friday. And then we trade sideways here. And then we started to have a nice little pump here. And we got up into this around middle of the night Sunday. So this Saturday night, late Saturday night, that's when we got it. So then we had, after the 13th, what was the other one? The 6th. So then we go back to the 6th. And the 6th ended with a nice little pump. Then it went sideways. And then the 7th was Sunday. Down here, the 7th, the 7th, the 7th, the 7th. And then the evening of the 7th, it went out of control. So if any of this plays out any of the way that it has before, then, we can expect Sunday might be a nice kind of day. So that's kind of what we're looking for. That's the way it looks like this whole chart and all of this action is going to play out. So, and guys, look, I'm always guessing. I'm always guessing. I'm always trying to give you the best information that I can based on the circumstances, based on the situation, based on where we're sitting, right? So I mean, we're going to look at the RSI real quick. And the RSI says that we're on our way back up. Now, listen, when the RSI goes down this far, what happens? We look over here. When it goes down this far, this is the shit that happens, right? When the RSI goes down this far, this is the shit that happens. We go from, like in this one's 18.6 all the way up to 20,000. When the RSI, and let's go look at ETH and see how ETH is. The RSI just passed over on ETH. Now, when it passes over on ETH, this low, and the number we're looking for right here is 11. So let's go find a decent low. So we find a decent low here. This is 23, and it ended up with 1,680 going to 1,839 before it crossed back over, 1,900 before it crossed back over. So 300 points, which is about what we're down. So, maybe we catch back up. Maybe we catch back up. But as you start to zoom out here and as you start to look down this line, every time you see it go down that far, you see it come back up a similar amount. And listen, we're at the beginning of a bull market. We are, no matter what, when you look at the details again, in 2 years, when we're actually in that massive bull run, then you're going to look back at these moments and you're going to say, this is when it started. I can see it right here, because it's when these indicators, these monthly indicators, are pointing upwards. That means that we're heading back into the bull market. When you see the weekly go over the SMA, then you know that we're back into a big run. So, here we are. We're at the start of it. How far it goes, that's on us. We'll see how far it goes. But just imagine this. Don't consider where we are, but consider where we are from where we were not that long ago. Consider on a day chart, looking at, this is what we were doing here on the day chart, just, what is it? Not that long ago, right? How many days ago was this? So from June 27th. So what are we talking about? The 17th. So exactly 2 months. So in 2 months, we've gone from 880 for Ethereum to 1,971, basically 2,000. And even if we don't consider where we were and just take where we are, we were at 1,850. We basically up 100% in 2 months. If you knew you could get a 100% increase on Ethereum, and all you had to do was throw $50,000 into Ethereum at $800, it's a no-brainer, right? Don't be mad because the market's dumping right now. Be sad at the position you got in if you got in a shitty position. But remember, the market's turning around and starting to move back to the positive, and everything's just going to be fine. It's just going to take a little time to work itself back out. There's, again, nothing about these charts that are telling anybody that we are in trouble. Today, we said, let's get rid of this RSI. Today, what did we do? We predicted this on Bitcoin, and we said that something was going to happen, right? And what happened? It broke straight out to the upside, just like we predicted on this one before going to the downside. So we got the volatility that we were looking at on a triangle pattern on the downside, by the way. So what we were predicting, what we were looking at was for it to do a little bit of downside movement because it is a triangle with this coming down. So, it's We don't know always where it's going to go, but you can always just kind of look at the patterns and make a guess. Ethereum is not going to maintain in this position for very long. Look, here's what Ethereum does. Ethereum runs, dumps a little bit, 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 runs. So Ethereum is going to quote unquote get the runs pretty soon. And then of course, then this is the rest of the altcoin market. And the percentage is still pretty down, 13% overall, 13.27, and been as high as 14, but up over here was almost 19% of the market. But Bitcoin is back to asserting its dominance. So we'll just kind of see how this plays out over the next couple of days. Everything over here is just red. And it really doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter which token you're looking at. And listen, by the way, if Hex is down in any way and you can get it for 4 cents, Jesus Christ, I was just going to say that. If you can get it for 4 or 3.5, Jesus fucking Christ. Okay, so if you got some Hex down here, remember, we were talking about this before, and I said, if you can get Hex for 3 cents, I mean, Jesus Christ, it ran up just recently to 7 cents. So, I mean, you want to double your bag. I mean, throw some Hex into your bag. Matter of fact, let's throw some goddamn Hex in. All right, how much Hex do we want? Let's go with how much is 14 ETH worth? So if we put $22,000 in Hex right now, what do you guys think is going to happen? What do you think? $22,000 to Hex right now. Because I mean, guys, listen. Let's go look at the Hex chart. Let's try to take an honest look at Hex and see what we can come up with here. Hex. And that's Uniswap, right? So Hex USDC on Uniswap USDT. Which one are we looking at over here? We're looking at the pairing ending in F8D5. So we want F8D5 Hex. USDC Hex. So that's the one we want. And we want the USDC Hex. All right, so let's go look at this one. Where are we at here? It says we're at 419. This is we're at 421. This puts us on Uniswap, but so where are we at here? So here we are. We're like kissing this bottom, right? So where's the next step? 1 hour. On these 1 hour charts, where are we at? We're below our support line. So just to get back into a relative line of support is about a 12% increase, right? And I mean, you never know. Will it run back up to 7 cents or more? I mean, seriously, it'll run, if we get a penny off of it. Look, if we do $22,000, right? And we get a penny, we get a penny off of that. Then that's going to be what? It's a 25% increase. So that would turn 22,000 into what? Almost 30, right? So what do you think? Yeah, we're not doing that. I can promise you that we're not doing that in small cap. We don't do that in small cap. When we make a play like this, we make that play at the bottom on something that, and this is up 7% in the last little while. So I think we kind of missed the dump there. Let's go look and see. Volts down 0.46. That's not enough volume. We want something big. We want something, and I don't like. Listen, I'm not trusting Crow right now. Doesn't seem to be just the volume isn't there, and then this is not really there. I mean, I know we get a run out of Solana, right? It's at 36 right now. Doesn't take much to get it back up to 46, and it likes to run. So where are we at on DOT? Because DOT has underperformed. DOT could go. We don't like that. Don't like those odds. You know what? We're not going to do anything right now. We're just going to leave. I'm just going to leave it right now, and then we'll check it out. Look, if I get more dip, we're going to go into Hex. We're going to go in heavy into Hex and see what happens there. Terrarium, I don't like the 4%, especially because Terrarium doesn't move. I'm not talking about a long-term investment, so I don't want to play the Terrarium chart. The Terrarium chart is driven by Ethereum right now, so it's better to just say stay in just stay in Ethereum if that's the case. What I want is something that's going to make a move, and I want that move to be something big. So if we're going to put 25 grand into something, then we're going to put it into again, look, that Hex number would have been great to catch that right there. That's 3.8, right? I don't know how it's going to move or how the market's going to move, but and in fairness, at 7.4%, I feel like Hex has probably made its move for the day, and we just missed it. So I think we're going to take a pass on that for right now, because that doesn't make any sense. Even though it could go up to 5.5, like what's 5.5%? What's the number on 5.5%? Let's take a quick look at that. So from here to 5.5. From here to 5.5 or 5.3 would be 26.53%. And if we could get back to the 5.6, that's 34. And up there at the 7% is 68% increase. And how long did that take? How many days is that? 5 days, 11 hours. Where's that top? The top right there, 72.95 from where it currently is. And it took 5 days to get that 72% bump. And if we're saying that, well, let me rephrase that. If I'm saying that this market is just in a temporary dip and that we're about to head back up, what do I think? What do I think this is going to do? And I think it's going to do this again, right? And God damn, could you imagine? Like we just say, you know what? Fuck this. And then we just go in here at 3 or 4 cents. And the next thing you know, it's at 50 cents. It just takes off like a rocket. Oh my God. If only we could get it like an update on Pulse Chain, and Richard Hart calls me and is like, hey man, it's going on right now. But of course he doesn't have my number because he's too busy doing drop kicks. What is that shit, by the way? And dropping N bombs. That's a little bit weird, right? I mean, we can agree that that's a little bit awkward to be just tossing that in. Match. We can't do it in Volt, man. We can't put 25,000 in Volt, man. That's 14% tax, 14% out, and I'm already into Volt for 10 grand. So I'm not going in for 24 more. So that's too much. Bone before Shabir. If I could have gotten in Bone at 30 cents a couple weeks back, then yeah, that would have been a good one. But I mean, I think the play is still Hex. I just don't like the fact that it's up like it is right now. Like I would feel much better to see some kind of little quick sell-off. Like drop that price just a little bit, just a little less action here. And then I would feel Like, there we go. We're 42.13. Drop me back down to like the 36. Quit buying, assholes. But anyway, that would have been a good move. And I'd like for this, I wouldn't be staking it either. I've got 2,000 of it staked. So, that's enough for me. Like, I would just be making a flip on this one. And if I'm flipping, then I don't want something with a high tax. And Saitama would actually be a good one to do that with, because it's only got a 2% tax now too. I think it's either 2 or 4%. Let's see. If you're flipping tokens, by the way, if you're trying to flip and you're using it in this in this kind of community, then you're looking for something like, here we go. So the tokenomics here are 1% burn, 1% reflection, 1% sustainability. So it's 4%, which is 4% was a fair enough one. That means you got to get a 10% bump just to make 2%. So yeah, that's not optimal, by the way, but it's still got, what is this, 372,000 in volume. There was a time this thing was doing like 30 million in volume. Whew. Every day. Like every day. That's crazy. Anyway, and I've got a couple thousand in Shift too. Like, I'm already stocked up with almost all of these. I've got 1 ETH in Phoenix V2. I've got like 5 ETH in WAGMI. So like I think this is the play. All right. Well, anyway, I got to go. I told you guys I want to do a half hour here just to give you guys kind of an update here. Just to get an idea here about what we want to do. By the way, Ivy, thank you so much for coming in and reminding me of that. Guys, if you did not get into the Deconnect pre-sale, look, I know we soured on pre-sales for a little while because everybody was asking for these huge amounts of tokens or money up front. Deconnect is launching very soon, and it's launching, and it only wants like a small amount. Like, it literally says that it wants to launch with like a 200,000 market cap, because it thinks that a 200,000 market cap will pump the shit out of the chart when it launches. And Thomas, the CEO, he said that what he wants is for everybody to get in and make a bunch of money on that initial pump, because he has enough money to kind of fund the project for a while. He even said, like, he's got this idea and he's already made enough money. I think he said that he's already got enough to handle. This is going to be something like, God damn it, I think this is 80,000 total. I don't think it's even 200,000. I think it's 80,000 total. So I think he's taking 80,000 on a pre-sale, and then he's putting 40,000 into liquidity, and then 40,000 into marketing, and then that's going to pay for people like me for a while. And by the way, just full disclosure here, I'm doing work for them, and I'll be on their website here, which is the education and learning, and it's going to be learn to earn. So you literally sign up for this website, and then you go here to courses, and you start taking courses, and you start taking educational. You go through like some educational videos and stuff like that, and then it asks you like it'll start asking you questions. It'll give you a quiz on it when you're done. So you're going to create a Web3 wallet. You're going to log into this, and then you're going to have a quiz at the end of it, and it'll ask you a couple of questions or something like that. And then at the very end of it, if you answer them all right, if you answer all the questions right, then you get rewarded with Deconnect tokens, and you can continue to accumulate more as you go. So I'm going to be making content for it. Adam Shelton's going to be making content for it. That's all for right now, but we're working on getting some more people onboarded because it feels like it could be a really nice educational platform, and this guy seems pretty dedicated to educating people on how to crypto, and that's a pretty big thing. I mean, education in crypto is certainly lacking. I mean, you got to think about all the times, like, I can't tell you how many times in the last couple of months, people have come to me and say, oh my God, like you explained something to me in a way that I just absolutely would never understand otherwise if you hadn't like just explained it to me from beginning to end so that it made sense. And think about all the different things that we take for granted that we know in crypto, and all the things that we don't know that we just kind of like, what is a blockchain? I mean, at the end of the day, what is a blockchain? A blockchain is a calendar with a ledger on it that lets you know it does the transactions for you. It calculates. It's basically a calculator that keeps a record of everything that you do. That's it. That's basically what it is. And there's different ways to react on it. There's different contracts that you can add to make it do certain things and behave in certain ways. But at the end of the day, it's basically just a calculator and ledger that makes what you do easier, right? And you can attach stuff that you do online to it. NFT, you can attach it through a smart contract, so that's always going to be there, and you can't take it off. You can store it in a cold wallet or something like that, but when you put it back online, it's going back onto that blockchain. So that's what I'm talking about. You can do all those things. And by the way, in closing, as we're closing, Bored Ape Yacht Club for CryptoPunks, the CryptoPunks that they bought, they sent out a notice that you now own your NFT. If you had an NFT on CryptoPunks and you got a rare NFT or any NFT that you have that's a CryptoPunks, you can now use it to make your own cartoons. You can do whatever it is that you want with it. So that's a pretty cool thing. They gave you the keys to your own character, that's actually awesome. And it's very rare. We haven't seen that much in this space. So it's pretty cool. But anyway, this is not financial advice. My name is Bleaves. I'm always right. And you guys have a good weekend, and we will see you again Monday for breakfast with Bleaves. I'm going to be on over this weekend. I just made some videos, by the way. If you want to watch them, I made a video, just a little. If you like my intro song, then there is a video for that. You can just put that into your like YouTube playlist if you want to. But I got content coming out for Phantom. I've got content coming out for Saitama. And I've got some content coming out for Luna Classic over the next 24 hours. And then we'll see where we go from there. Because I want to get back into Lillian Finance and check them out and see what's going on over there. So I'll try to keep you guys as informed as I can over the weekend to the best of my ability. So we will talk to you guys again soon. You have a good weekend, and adios.